Okay, let's say hello again to Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy with the forewarned weather. How are you, Alana?
I'm doing well, Brian. Happy Monday. We've seen this above average warmth settle in, and now as a cold front comes through, a few spotty storms have popped up. Live view from Cache Valley, a little unsettled as a thunderstorm rolled through this area in the last hour. It's cleared, but we know that the potential for additional storms and showers is out there. Forewarned radar shows us what's going on. We jump up towards Park Valley, the northwestern corner of the state, where we see some activity. Cleared Cache Valley, but look over towards Bear Lake, some echoes of moisture. Jumping into central Utah, south of Dugway, we've got a cell out there putting down lightning, and then over towards the Uinta Basin in Duchesne County, some spotty echoes of moisture. Also the case over the south central area of Utah, higher terrain favored here, and the Four Corners getting a few storms. These storms really producing gusty outflow winds. That's the biggest takeaway, but some moisture out there. Live view of the Salt Lake Valley. We're dry, but the towering cumulus there from our ABC4 camera at Ensign Peak, showing off the weather story as this cold front will sweep through this evening. It's one of three. Satellite radar puts this into motion. You see those showers in the last few hours, increasing in coverage with the help of our above average temperatures and that front providing lift. Speaking of temperatures, we are well above where we typically should be. 75 now in Ogden, 76 in Salt Lake, 80 still in Wendover, 60s in Cache Valley, 70s and 80s on the eastern side of the state, and we've made it to 91 down there in St. George, where the 90s are going to hold steady for the next several days. For the Wasatch Front, we're going to see those 70s turning to 60s with partly cloudy skies. Eyes to the skies for the chance of an isolated storm kind of moving through. That storm threat holds on for our Tuesday. Notice it clears northwestern Utah, but a bulk of the Beehive State has a general thunderstorm threat as our second cold front will move through Tuesday with a trailing front for the midweek. So we've got active conditions, true spring cool fronts here, not cold air, but cool, knocking us down in temperatures. Here we go through the afternoon, and you're going to see that system swooping in at that cold front, bringing the potential and lift for those storms and showers we're seeing out there. So we head into our Tuesday afternoon, we see that those storms really want to focus on central and southern Utah, and then heading into our Wednesday, it's going to be the eastern and south central portion of the state. So the Wasatch Front has a chance tonight and then a slight chance into tomorrow, but the rest of the Beehive State sees that potential through the midweek. As we look at our high temperature trend, the cool fronts kind of keep us right where we should be. We get knocked down to average, and then we warm back up Thursday and Friday. That's telling the weather story right there. High pressure moves in and takes control, and we see those numbers climbing. Do you like the spring warmth? It's going to be here for the close of the work week. So we look at our regional forecast. Pleasant temperatures for tomorrow behind the front as we see a nice mix of 70s. 72 is our average high in Salt Lake, so we'll still be above that tomorrow. Some spotty storms in central and southern Utah with 70s and 80s on the eastern side of the state. Checking out the Wasatch back, 60s and 70s, really nice, partly cloudy skies, but the chance of an isolated storm persists. A mix of 70s throughout central Utah with partly cloudy skies and afternoon thunderstorm potential. That's also the case down south, heavily favoring the mountainous areas. Not a surprise there with those 90s popping up again in St. George. Here we look at the next 7 days. Speaking of those 90s, the next 6 out of 7, pack those for Washington County. That's above average, cooling into next week with breezy conditions and staying dry. Isolated showers for the Wasatch Front, drier Wednesday. And we get to the 80s. Hello, high pressure. Thursday and Friday, we are in those 80s, seeing those 80s on Friday for the warmest day of the week. Heading into the weekend, it will be pleasant, and you will see the 70s with a slight chance of some moisture into next week. This is a true spring pattern here. The cold fronts aren't super dramatic. The wet weather isn't overzealous. Here we are with just a really nice stretch of temperatures and the potential to see a few pop-up storms.
You know, a guy could get used to this.
I feel like 7 days like that. Repeat. Yeah, it's
please,
not bad.
Let's do it. It's good weather.